People say it doesn't matter how good you are to someone. If you're not the person they want it from, it won't matter. And I agree. You can be the perfect package at the wrong doorstep. And that's okay. The problem comes when the person whose doorstep you're on knows that, but instead of just saying, this isn't for me, and leaving the package alone, they open it. Because they need to find something wrong with it or damage it so they feel better about not wanting it. And I get that rejecting someone can feel uncomfortable, and there might be some shame around that. But part of me wonders if this is done to avoid the reality that we might not want what we think we do. We were just told to want this shit. Maybe we prefer something that others might consider less than ideal and are afraid of being judged. And it could even be the illusion of options or fear of settling. I don't know.
It's okay to admit that you walked in the wrong door than to spend your lifetime in the wrong room. It's okay to say, hey, look, I ain't get it right.
Yeah.
You don't have to stay over there.
Right in the heart of a silver bullet.
Yeah. I think they plotting on man. Don't fight big feet when they enter the L.A.R. I feel a cold stare.
What's happening, fam? L.A.R. movement still moving. Subscribe or die trying. You see the thumbnail. More importantly, you saw the clip. Rejection. The thing about it is, like, I agree with the young lady. There are people in this world who they're rejecting the wrong people. They're rejecting the people who didn't reject them, as some type of weird way to get even, with the person that did reject them. And this happens in relationships. This happens when parenting. This sometimes it just happens because of inanimate things. Like that has nothing to do with people. Matter of fact, I'll start with that. Some of y'all feel rejected by life, right? So you're getting back at the rejection you got in life by rejecting people. And they don't have anything to do with it. So like you feel like life did you a disservice. And it might not have. So what you do is you take that out on somebody else. And when you take it out on them and they're trying to figure out what's going on, because on one end you'll say, type of people that say, I wish I had somebody who had my back in my corner, yada, yada, yada. And then when you get that, you just do them dirty. You don't really, you're not really the person to them that you're looking for when you wanted them to be that person to you. I hope I said that right. Like, basically, you're not the person that you're looking for. They're the person that you're looking for, but you're not the person that you're looking for. So now they give 100%, you get 50. Because, life owes me, so I ain't giving everything. Okay. So then they get done wrong. Now, let me move on a little bit. You got the parenting thing. Sometimes it's parenting, sometimes it's just family, where you want the love of this one particular parent. And because you want that parent's love, you're doing too much. So to prove your love to one parent, you'll reject the other parent. And it doesn't matter who's right and who's wrong, who's good and who's bad. All that matters is I want this person's attention, affection, love. And normally it's twisted. So what you wind up having is a situation where, kid grows up teenager, young adult, and they're still like just pining over, I want you to love me. I want you to love me. And I did all this stuff. And it's like, no, what you did was you got rejected by them and you couldn't accept it. Because, it's a parenting relationship. You're not supposed to get rejected by a parent, right? So the parent that rejects you, you fighting all the time to get their love. The parents that accept you, you fighting them, all the time to prove to the other parent you're number one. So you wind up alone when it's all said and done, because the parent that rejected you, they're never gonna come around. You gotta understand that, but you don't. The parent that you rejected, they're gonna get tired of you rejecting them, and they gonna, you know what? I'm packing it up, whatever. So then you have that issue, you know, and I get into the other aspect of this part later, but then when you get into actual relationships, you see this all the time, where this person wanted this person, but they didn't want them. So now they're with this other person, and that's where she was talking about that. I feel like I'm settling. So now the person that you with is beneath the person that you really wanted, and that person is beneath you too, because they're with you. And it's like, oh, okay. So now what winds up happening is a lot of y'all put effort into the people y'all want that don't want y'all, but y'all put less effort into the people that you have that want you. So at some point, the person that you with is gonna figure it out. It's like, oh, okay, I'm in this. I thought we were in a relationship, but I'm just a placeholder. I'm a placeholder until the person that you really want comes around and wants you now. And you see this, like they even, they make movies and shows about it, where he had these scenes where people in relationships, and then one person strays, and then they come back, and the other person confronts them one day, and it's like, the only reason you're here because they dumped you. That's why you're here. Not because you want to be here, it's because they dumped you. So now, let's go back to this comfortable thing I got until I can figure out something else. And what winds up happening is the person that rejected you don't want you, and the person that you rejected is not going to want you. And then you're going to be, once again, by yourself. And here's where things get interesting. The person that rejected you is not going to come around unless they come around to use you, because they know you're a sucker for them, right? They might use you and then dump you again because you're doing the same thing. Like, that's why y'all kind of, birds of a feather flock together. That's why y'all attracted, because you like this, but that rejects you and only uses you when it's convenient for them. And then you are with somebody else or something else, and you're rejecting another person that you're only using because it's convenient for you. So the odd man out, the third person, when that person moves on, oh, it's over. Because now the third person that gets the odd man out in this, whether if you feel like life rejected you and this person accepted you, but you didn't want them like that, when they go, I'm moving on. Now you stuck with life and yourself. You know what I'm saying? When it's the parenting situation, and one parent rejects you and the other accepts you. When the one that you rejected moves on, it's like, oh, how come you don't, how come you don't love me? Like, we're not doing this. I'm out. I'm out. You'll figure it out. Same thing with the relationship. When the person that rejected you doesn't want you, and the person that accepted you, you rejected them and they move on. Now you running around aimlessly like a chicken with his head cut off. And it's like, what's going on? And this is where this cycle begins, where people play this victimhood story that they were done so wrong. Oh, I got done wrong. I just need somebody. I just need somebody who really cares about me. And it's like, when you're younger, you hear it, you buy into it, you believe it. As you get older, you go, nope, nope, this is your habit. Because a lot of times you just need to feel like somebody accepts you. That's all you. That's what you're addicted to. You're addicted to somebody just having accepting you. And when they accept you, now you're comfortable enough to pursue who you really want. That's why I say people are placeholders. But when you take when a placeholder walks away, you got to sit with yourself. And that's why I'm saying as you get older, people just let people sit with themselves. I ain't got time for this. I'm not about to play this game. Because you see it all the time. Somebody is rejected by a person, but they're really in love with that person's sex. So that's it. Or somebody's rejected by a person, but they're in love with that person's lifestyle. Somebody's rejected by a person, but ironically, that the person that accepted them, sometimes when they reject them and move on, now people go, oh, I'm in love with this person that left. Because a lot of times people are in love with rejection. Like they don't see they can't see love until it walks away. So when love leaves, then they see it and like, nah, I want it back. And it's like, no. People ain't got time for that. Because if you can't recognize a person face to face, but then you recognize them when their back is to you and they're walking away, you got a backwards mindset. You get what I'm saying? And people get tired of that mindset because you're only gonna be able to recognize things after the fact. And it ain't just rejection. That goes in life. Like you only go it only dawns on you after it's over. You can't see it while it's happening. You got to see everything after the fact. Everything is retroactive. So people get tired of that. But I'm gonna leave it at that. You tell me what you think. Like, share, subscribe. Catch y'all on the next one. Peace.